everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SCFGLive. Unfortunately, Mr. Music had to teach music, so we're going a cappella today. I'm super excited to be back for this episode because we get to combine science with a yummy, delicious snack. But before we get into it, summer is all about being with friends and discovering new science. So let's bring in our good scientist friends, Dr. Marbles and Nimisha.
Hello,
Hey. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Nimisha. Oh, let me tell you both, I have been waiting for this episode because I love small.
Wait, no, not yet.
What?
Don't worry, Dr. Marbles, we will get into it. And I'm sure you have a very exciting thing that you want to tell everyone about our experiment.
Oh, my God.
But we need to talk about what happened in our last few episodes when we talked about heat transfer, because I know you couldn't join us. So it's important that you are filled in before we get started with today's experiment.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, Hannah, I remember we learned that heat is a form of energy.
Yes. And the heat is the form of energy that makes molecules move around. The hotter it is, the more they move around. So much that when molecules move around, they can change their state of matter. And sometimes the more they're moving, the hotter the matter gets.
That's exactly right, Dr. Marbles. And we even have a word for how fast or slow these molecules are moving. We call this temperature. We also learned that there are 3 different types of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation.
Nimisha, I definitely won't forget that time I experienced conduction. I was making hot pasta and I accidentally slipped and touched the really hot handle. Now the handle had so much heat and that transferred to my cooler hand. And that's an example of conduction because it's heat transfer through direct contact.
Hannah and Nimisha, I remember another time where we saw conduction. In your past episode, we had special guest Shalea and her daughter showing us that the butter on a metal spoon melted faster than on a wooden or a plastic spoon. That's because the hot water conducted the heat faster through metal than through wood or plastic. I totally remember that.
Wow, those are some awesome, great connections to previous episodes, Hannah and Dr. Marbles. I remember the time when we saw convection in action with our special guest, Olivia. Convection is where heat is transferred through a liquid or a gas, and the hotter material moves towards the cooler area. Remember, Olivia had us fill 2 bottles, with one with hot water and one with cold water. And then when we flipped the cold water bottle on top of the hot water bottle, the hot water rose to the top.
Oh, that was really, really fun activity. We even got to see this convection current change colors, which was awesome. And Nimisha, the last form of heat transfer is radiation. And that's when heat transfers through the air through invisible waves. Ever notice when you gently lean closer to a fire and your body starts to feel hot? That's radiation. The heat from the fire is radiating onto our bodies and providing us with heat.
Wow, that's an awesome review of all the things that we've learned about heat transfer. Now, Dr. Marbles, a little while ago, you had something to say about our episode, right?
I sure did. Hey, scientists, since today's our last episode of season 2, which I'm very sad about.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
Yes?
You should celebrate.
Well, I think that's a great idea, Dr. Marbles. Did you have something particular in mind?
I do. Let's make s'mores. Yeah.
I love s'mores. They're so chocolatey and crunchy and ooey gooey.
Oh, not only do I love s'mores like both of you, but s'mores is actually a great way to review everything we've learned this season about phase changes, heat energy, and heat transfer. In fact, I know a very cool experiment we can do involving s'mores and all 3 types of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation.
Okay, scientists, I'm just going to say it. I'm a genius. I mean, what a good idea and perfect recommendation for our last show. Well, let me just say you're really lucky to have me on the show. Let me just say.
All right. Yes, Dr. Marbles.
Make some s'mores.
Yes, that was a really great suggestion. But Let's see how much you truly remember from season 2 when we do this experiment.
Well, I think I might go back for a moment and review some of those episodes. Not that I haven't been watching them and paying very close attention, but it never hurts to review. So I'm going to go just quickly check out some of those videos. See ya.
Good idea. It's a good idea. And if you're watching at home and you want to take a moment right now to pause the video and go back and rewatch our episodes on conduction, and radiation, now's a great time. We'll check back in with you shortly, and we'll see Dr. Marble shortly as well. All right, so for this experiment, you're going to need a cardboard box. A pizza box or a shoe box works pretty well for this one. You're going to need some tape or glue, aluminum foil, white paper or black paper. I'm going to use black paper. Nimisha's going to use white paper. Some plastic wrap, a ruler, a marker or a pencil, and you'll want to use a box cutter. Now, it's really, really important that you have an adult nearby when you're using this because it's kind of sharp, so just be extra careful. All right. Oh, I forgot the most important stuff. You will also need some s'mores ingredients. So I have graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate because that is the most important part. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to make sure that your box is clean. Especially if you're using a pizza box, you want to make sure all the crumbs are gone and thrown away. Next, you're going to use a ruler to measure out a box at the top of your box that's 1 inch apart from the sides. So measure out 1 inch from this side, 1 inch from the bottom, 1 inch from this side, and then the top, it's going to connect here. Perfect. Okay. Next, you're going to use your box cutter. Make sure an adult can help you with this step to cut out your box. Now, super important that you only cut out 3 sides of the box because you still want to have one side that's attached. So just 3 sides of the box. Got it, Nimisha?
Got it.
All right, let me finish cutting out my box here. Great. So now you should have a little flap on your box like this. Okay. Next, you're going to use aluminum foil to wrap the inside of your flap. Just like this. You can use tape if you'd like, or you can just wrap it around to make sure that it stays on.
Hannah, I noticed something.
What'd you notice?
The tinfoil, it kind of looks like a mirror.
That's a great connection and a great observation. In fact, the tinfoil is actually going to do the same thing that a mirror does in our experiment. The tinfoil is going to help to reflect the sun's light onto our yummy s'mores in our oven, just like a mirror reflects the sun's light back to us, which is why we see our reflection. Pretty cool. All right. Now that we have our lid lined with our reflective tinfoil, you're going to line the bottom of your solar oven with some construction paper. Now I'm going to choose black paper. Nimisha, what color paper are you going to choose?
I'm going to use white paper because I'm curious to see how the white paper will compare to the black paper that you use.
Great question. Now, to secure your paper to the bottom of your oven, you might want to use some tape. I'm going to wrap my tape into little tape donuts like this to make sure that it sticks down to the bottom. Alrighty, put that into the bottom of my oven. Alrighty.
Okay.
Cool. Now the bottom of my oven is lined with my black construction paper. I have my tin foil on my lid. Oh, that looks perfect, Nimisha. Nice job. Awesome. All right, next, you're going to use plastic wrap to cover the opening in your box. Now, this is why it's important to have a box that has a lid already, like a pizza box or a shoe box, so we can line this part. Okay, so I'm going to take my lid off and I'm going to line it with plastic wrap.
Got my plastic wrap.
Awesome. All right, so once you have plastic wrap on the bottom of your lid, you'll also want to put one more piece of plastic wrap on the top of your lid right here as well. It's important to make sure your plastic wrap is really nice and tight so no air escapes out of your solar oven. All right, now for the last part and my favorite part. This time you want to put the s'mores ingredients into the bottom of your solar oven. So I have graham crackers. We'll start with a graham cracker on the bottom. Ooh, my graham crackers are crumbly. Next, we'll put in a marshmallow.
Yum.
Yum, yum, yum. And last but not least, a piece of chocolate and a nice s'mores cover on the top, a graham cracker. Oh, Nimisha, that looks great. There's
Thank you.
my s'more in my oven right there.
I love it.
Beautiful. All right, now it's time to put the lid of your solar oven on top. Extra careful, there we go. All righty.
All righty. So now, Hannah, do we place our boxes in the oven?
No, we actually don't even need the oven at all. Our boxes are going to be our ovens. So what we need to do is we need to use the heat of the sun to cook our s'mores. It's probably best to put your solar oven outside at a time of day when it's really, really sunny. Usually between 11 and 2 is a great time. And it happens to be that time right now. So we can go outside and put our solar ovens in the sun.
Wait, Hannah, before we go outside, don't you think we should make like a
Prediction checker! Nimisha, special thanks for remembering us. I was a little concerned your colleague was going to forget us. See, I told you they wouldn't forget us.
I'm sorry, Dr. Marbles and Chicken. I was just so excited about our s'mores. I almost forgot to make a prediction.
Oh, no, Hannah. No, I wasn't trying to. No, please. So, doesn't matter. What's the prediction you want from us?
Well, Dr. Marbles, Hannah and I have created 2 different solar ovens to cook our yummy s'mores. Hannah created her solar oven with black paper, and I created mine with white paper. So, which oven do you think will cook our s'mores faster, the oven with the white paper or the black paper?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Black, white, yeah. All right, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, so we were just saying that, well, if you think about it, I get pretty hot in the summer when I wear my my black jacket, my black leather jacket. You may have seen it. And I find that when I wear my white jacket, my white leather jacket, which I don't really wear that often, but when I do wear it, it is cooler. So I'm thinking that the oven with the black paper might heat up faster than the oven with the white paper, assuming it's made of leather.
That's a great connection, Dr. Marbles. And although it's made of paper, I still think you're on the right track. In fact, I was thinking that during the summer, when I go outside in bare feet and step on black pavement, my feet get really, 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 really hot. A lot hotter when I step on than when I step on lighter color pavement. So I think you might be right. But young scientists at home, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the solar oven with the black paper will cook our s'mores faster, or the solar oven with the white paper? Be sure to write it in the chat box.
All right, let's go put our solar ovens outside. We'll be right back.
ovens have been outside for about 1 hour. Dr. Marbles, are you ready to see if your prediction was correct?
Oh, Hannah.
Yes, I'm so curious to see if it worked. I'm so hungry.
Well,
I can't wait to see if the s'mores cooked.
Did they cook?
wow. It looks like my white solar oven didn't do a very good job cooking my s'more because let's take a look. It's still pretty solid and the chocolate has barely melted.
Look at my s'more. It's yummy and gooey. It looks like the black paper in my solar oven helped to cook the marshmallow and chocolate. Dr. Marbles, you were correct, but I wonder why that happened. Let's talk about the science behind our solar ovens.
Well, Hannah, as you said earlier, this experiment involves the 3 different types of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. So let's see if we can identify where each type of heat transfer is occurring in our solar ovens. Let's start with conduction because that's the easiest. Remember, conduction is heat transfer from one object to another through direct contact.
I think I know this one. Conduction is happening when heat transfers from the bottom of the solar oven to the s'more, since they are in direct contact with one another.
That's what I think, and I'm very hungry.
I know, Dr. Marbles, but that was a great job. You're exactly right.
Oh,
We're getting there.
So much science. My belly is rumbling.
We're getting there.
Okay.
All right. Well, the next one's a little bit tricky. So how about where is radiation occurring? Remember, radiation is heat transferring through the air through invisible waves.
This one's a little tricky, but I think it might be occurring when the sun's heat is being transferred through the air all the way to our solar ovens.
Yep, that's exactly right. In fact, another way to say sunlight is solar radiation. All right, the last one, and this one's definitely the trickiest. So where is convection occurring? Remember, convection is heat transferred through the movement of gases or liquids, and it often involves cold air sinking and warm air rising.
This one is tricky. Can you give us a hint, maybe?
Sure. Well, it has to do something with that plastic wrap that we added to our solar ovens. Remember, we added that plastic to make sure our solar oven was airtight with little to no air escaping.
Yep. And I wonder if convection current of air is occurring inside our oven. Maybe the cold air is sinking.
I remember learning this. The cold air is sinking and the warm air is rising.
That's exactly right. And this is why having that dark paper on the bottom of our oven is super important. It helps to warm that cold air, making it warm air. And that dark paper absorbs more sunlight than that white paper.
So we have radiation as the sunlight transfers to our solar oven, conduction as the heat from the bottom transfers to our s'mores,
And convection
as the air inside the oven moves in a circle.
from hot to cold. We've got it all. We've got it all. Let's eat. Let's eat.
It's so cool and yummy too. Dr. Marbles, don't worry. We're very, very close to eating our s'mores.
Yes, and I'm super excited to eat them. Well, today has just been so much fun, and I can't wait to keep experiencing more science this summer. Can't you, Dr. Marbles?
Yep. Hey, Hannah and Nimisha. More like we're all going to have
S'more fun. I'm so clever.
That's a very good one, Dr. Marbles. We are lucky to have you on the show. You bring quite a lot of entertainment.
Well, thank you.
Definitely. And that was a really good one. Well, everyone, you heard Dr. Marbles. This has been an amazing episode of SCFGLive and an even more amazing season. We're so happy you all have experimented with us and gotten to learn more about the science all around us these past few months.
It definitely has been a special season. Well, young scientists, as always, keep experimenting and discovering new science. And this has been another episode of
SCFGLive.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, scientists.
This episode of SCFG Live has been brought to you by National Grid, who supports Science Club for Girls' mission in making STEM exciting and accessible to all. Both National Grid and Science Club for Girls support women in STEM and are working towards making STEM more diverse, equitable, and inclusive.